thought I would address briefly the lies that Christians tell, or the lies of Christianity. Because I don't really think Christians tell lies. At least most of them don't. I think there are some that deliberately do, but I think a lot of them are like myself and like how I was, and they're just lazy thinkers. I think this religion and religion in general tends to make people lazy thinkers. They assume somebody else has done the groundwork. They assume somebody's researched all this already and has absolutely verified that it's all true. And that's what I think most religious people are guilty of is, oh, the person who told me this seemed very sure of themselves, and all these people believe it, so it must be true, and so I have all this backing to support what I believe, so I believe what I believe is true, and da-da-da-da-da. That's what I was like. Even as an atheist, I am still that way. I freely admit it. When you are a lazy thinker for the large majority of your life, it's really hard to change that pattern. And so I, as much as I have tried to look into things myself, there's a lot of things that, in fact, just trying to do this video makes me realize that I'm still a lazy thinker, because there's several videos about the top 10 lies that Christianity tells. And, I can repeat what these other people are saying. And I can say, this is what I think of what these other people are saying. But, I'm just saying what other people say. So I'm not really doing the thinking, am I? I'm repeating what some really good videos that I think are good videos are saying. And what other people are saying and what other people have thought. So, in a way, I'm still being a lazy thinker. And I've been an atheist for all 4 years now. I don't think I'm quite as lazy a thinker as I used to be. I make these videos where I'm doing the stream of conscious thing and I'm thinking out loud. And I think by doing that, I'm trying to get the old brain cells to fire and come up with some original thoughts of my own. But, it's kind of hard. When you don't use something, you lose it. And I think Christians and religious people, they're all in danger of having the same thing happen to them unless they get off their little butts and start thinking for themselves. So, some things that other people have come up with. There's one guy, a channel that I recommend, Not One Delusion. And he has a whole series of the various lies that Christianity tells. And I haven't gotten through all of them yet, but they're really good. Each video is focusing on one of the lies and what he thinks of that lie. And there's going to be other people's, he comes up with various lies, and there's going to be other people who come up with various lies. Atheism is a belief is his number 2. Atheism is lack of belief. It is not a belief, it's a lack of belief. Belief in God, somebody who believes in God is a theist. Somebody who doesn't believe or is incapable of believing in a God is an atheist. I believe that what atheists all have in common is they require more than just hearsay to believe something. They require evidence. And so, if you want a different way of looking at it, atheists are evidence worshippers. They worship evidence. If you want to have a worship, if you must imagine that everybody has to worship something, atheists worship evidence. They need evidence to believe something. And there is none for religion. There is none. So what sets them apart from a theist is there's nothing there for them to worship. They need evidence to be able to worship it, to believe it. and there isn't any, so they don't believe it. They can't believe in something that there's nothing to show it exists. So, or you can say that an atheist doesn't have the magical thinking that a theist does. A theist can imagine that it's true, or you know, clap your hands so whatever Tinkerbell doesn't die. I think I have a good imagination, and I had magical thinking for a big part of my life, but what I find detrimental about nurturing that kind of mentality or that kind of thinking is it can extend beyond religious belief. I had magical thinking about friends, magical thinking that people were something that they weren't. And you know, when you start thinking about, like, you start imagining people are something that they're not, they're going to disappoint you, and you're going to end up very hurt. So reality is a good thing, and seeing reality, seeing the world as it really is a good thing, and seeing people as they really are. So I don't think magical thinking is a good thing when you're an adult. I think it's something that you need to get rid of. Atheism is a belief system. That's another one that he comes up with. Not one delusion comes up with. Atheism is not a belief system. It's the only thing that atheists have in common with each other is they don't believe in God. Some atheists believe in ghosts. Some atheists, like myself, believe that there could possibly be some kind of afterlife because, you know, there's no way to know one way or the other, and maybe they've seen a few things in their life to make them think, could be something to that. You know, there might be some kind of an afterlife that I always refer to the movie What Dreams May Come, because I really like that movie, and I think it's as close to how I think it might be as it gets. You know, I don't really think that I think if there's an afterlife, which I really don't believe there is, but you know, that fantastical thinking, that magical thinking, I still have bits of it in my head still. I mean, there's always going to be a little bit of that for me. If there's some kind of afterlife, I think whatever you have in your life, you carry on, you carry with you. So if you're a bad person and you've done a lot of bad things and hurt a lot of people, and you're just a negative person, your afterlife will continue that. You know? Anyway. So I don't think it's something that, I think everybody will, if either it doesn't exist at all, or it's something that we will all be there. We will all be there in some, but whatever our afterlife is, it will be determined by how we live. So that's what I think, but I don't think it. You know, I think it, but I don't think it. But my point is, atheists all think different things about this. We're all different individual people. It's not a belief system. Christianity has a rather set idea of what the afterlife is. There's a heaven, there's a hell. Hell will be a bad place where people will be separate from God, and there'll be a lot of misery and torment, and some people literally think it will be fire and brimstone. And heaven will be a place where there will be no need for anything. We will lack for nothing there. We will be happy all the time. There will be no sorrow. There will be no tears. There will be no pain. It will be heaven, you know, utopia. And there will be angels, and you know, some people literally think that we'll have mansions and crowns depending on our good works on earth. You know, Christians have a set belief system as far as heaven and hell and how to obtain those things. Atheists don't. Atheists do not have a belief system. The only thing the atheists have in common is they don't believe in God because there's no evidence for it. That's it. Everything else having to do with the supernatural or whatever is completely up to that individual person. You know, some Well, I don't know. I can only speak for myself and what I think. And I've already said what I think. I also am not completely convinced that there's no such thing as ghosts. Just again, because I've had some interesting experiences in my life. However, I don't think that there's such a thing as leprechauns. I don't think there's such a thing as fairies. There are certain things in unicorns I don't believe. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. So there's obviously some things that I don't believe. But who's to say some atheists might believe in that stuff? I don't know. Because we're all different. There's very little similarity between, there's racist atheists and there's atheists who aren't racist. There's sexist racist. There's sexist atheists and there's atheists who are not sexist. We're all the same as all other people. The only thing that we have in common is we cannot believe in God because there's not enough evidence. The fourth one this guy mentions, you can't prove God doesn't exist. We also can't prove that unicorns don't exist. This is what I believe. Anyway, if you want to go with that, if you can't prove that God doesn't exist, that proves that he exists. Well, then that proves that a lot of things exist. It proves that Loch Ness exists, and leprechauns, and fairies, and Santa Claus. How far do you want to go with that? You can't prove something doesn't exist, so therefore it must exist. Way of thinking. Someone points out that Christians only apply that backwards way of thinking to God. They don't apply it to anything else. Otherwise, they'd be walking around going, well, you can't prove that Santa doesn't exist. Well, you can't prove that unicorns don't exist. Well, no, you can't prove God doesn't exist because it's impossible to prove that something that doesn't exist doesn't exist. Any Christian that says that needs to go out and prove to all of us that Santa doesn't exist. They need to do that. They need to go out and prove to all of us that Santa doesn't exist. And if they're not going to do it, then I guess that means he does exist. Anyway, so that's a lie that Christianity says or tries to use as proof that God exists. No. It doesn't prove anything. It just proves that you can't prove that something that doesn't exist doesn't exist. He doesn't have them all here. Lack of belief equals assertion of falsehood. Well, I haven't watched that video, so I don't know what he's talking about. But again, he is not one delusion, and he's had a lot of views, so he's very popular. Another one that he puts down as a falsehood. Christians are seeking the truth. I don't agree either. I think that's a lie. Christians, if they were seeking the truth, they would still be seeking. I just saw a video the other day where a Christian actually says, once you find the truth, you don't look anymore. That's what she said. In fact, I could probably even get her name, the person who said that, because I have it in my history. Somebody said that, and the person who said that is, drumroll, da-da-da-da-da-da. Wow, it's far down the list. I was doing some, here. By 14 Christ 2009. Message to Atheists. Interesting little video. And she actually says it in there that, once you find the truth, you don't keep looking. So, no, Christians are not looking for the truth. They are seeking the truth. They come across something that, that sounds really good. I think I'll go with that. And that works for me, so I'm not going to keep looking. I found what works for me. I'm set. I'm good to go. In fact, I will defend tooth and nail this belief system and do what I can to protect myself from anything that might put that at jeopardy, because it's really important to me and I don't want to lose it. So I'm going to protect it and defend it and do everything I can in my power to make sure that nothing comes between me and my belief system. No, they don't seek the truth. They hold what they want to be the truth to them like a little security blanket, and they will fight to the death to keep it, to preserve it. Okay, so what else? I'm trying to see if he has any I'm gonna have to. The bad part about this guy, I mean, it's not his fault, but I'm on one of his videos and I'm looking to the right, you know, where they have other videos by him, and I'm trying to find, okay, here's his videos. So I'm trying to find the titles to his other videos, because there's a lot of them and I've only started watching them. So, okay. There's no evidence either way. That's apparently another one. Maybe not. Oh, there is evidence either way. There's no evidence for God, so I think that that's evidence that there isn't a God, personally. But to find out more about what he's saying, you have to watch that video. There is no morality without God. That is definitely a lie. Of course there's morality without God. I've been an atheist for 4 years. I have yet to go out and kill anybody. I have yet to run amok in the streets with a dagger, slashing people's throats. I have yet to have any desire to go rob somebody or do harm to somebody else. I don't rape and pillage, and I'm still the same person that I was when I was a Christian. The only thing different about it is I'm a little bit more fired up because I really truly believe that what I believed for a long time was a harmful lie, and I don't like the idea that I contributed to that lie and I spread that lie, and I'd like to undo the damage. Not that I saved anybody, but I certainly defended Christianity for a long time. Atheism requires faith. No, atheism doesn't require any faith. Atheism, I'm trying to think of how that can even be, how I can even put that into words. How does atheism require faith? Faith is believing something is true without any evidence. I don't believe in anything that's supernatural. I believe in I believe in looking up at the sky and seeing the stars and knowing those are planets and stars, and knowing that there's all this space between each star. And I believe when I pick up a rock that it's really, really old, and I believe that because I've dug in the ground and I've dug up fossils, and I know how hard it is to dig up those rocks. One of the scenes that really bothers me in the first Jurassic Park is when they uncovered the velociraptor, and it's laying there on the ground, and they're using their little paintbrushes to clear away the dust from the bones. That's not how it is. That's not how if you go digging for bones, for dinosaur bones, that's not how it is. They're embedded in rock. Anyway. Okay. So no, atheism requires no faith. In fact, it requires the opposite of faith. It requires the ability to think, the ability to ask questions and face them head on, and challenge challenge faith, challenge things that you just took for granted as true for a long time. Anyway, so yes, this guy probably has a bunch more, but I don't want this thing to be really, really long. But I recommend this guy. I think he's got, wait a minute. What have I done? Hold on. Not one delusion. Okay. Sorry. I think I accidentally went to somebody else's channel.
Gregory S. Neal in the article.
There he is. Okay. So Not One Delusion is a good channel to check out. I have only begun to check out his channel. I intend to look at all of them and listen to all his arguments. And then there's another one that I found that I liked, and his is just one video that I know of. The top 10 lies of Christianity. And this is Styx, Hexen, Hammer, 666. Spelled just the way it sounds. Styx, like the rock band. Hex and Hammer, 666. The top 10 lies of Christianity. And he gets into all of these in detail. I'm not going to. But his 10 that he lists are: evolution lacks evidence. That's a lie. Evolution does not lack evidence. There's mountains of evidence to support evolution. The Bible is historically accurate. No, it is not. That's a lie. That's what Christians assume. That's what I assumed. It's not true. Darwin recanted his theories and accepted Christianity before death. But thanks for playing. Noah's Ark has been found. No, it is not. He gets into that. The Inca stones prove humans and dinosaurs coexist. No, it's just artistic. Somebody was being artistic a long time ago, basically. The sounds of hell prove hell exists. That's a urban legend. It's a hoax. And you can look that up. Many scientists convert to Christianity, feeling their work leads them to believe in Jesus. He points out that many scientists convert to other things too, like Islam or Buddhism or atheism, because they're people and that's what people do. Has really nothing to do with proving that Christianity is more true than whatever. The existence of Jesus is indisputable. It's actually very disputable. There's actually no evidence at all to support or to whatever. There's no evidence that that Jesus, a historical Jesus, ever existed. The King James Version of the Bible is an accurate, unchanged, well-translated canonical guide to the Christian faith. Apparently that's another Christian lie, and the book of Revelation refers to the apocalypse at a future date. He says, and this is something I have never heard before, that it actually refers to the present day at the time it was written. So his video is another one that I recommend. It's actually only 15 minutes and 51 seconds long. It's only one video instead of a whole series like the other guy. So, you know, if you're a lazy thinker like me, first thing I did was I watched his video because it's just one video. But the other guy lists different things, so I recommend him too, and he gets into each one in more detail. So yeah, I don't think Christians are liars. I think that they just repeat what they've been told because they believe what they've been told is true, and they accept it as true. And they truly don't see themselves as lying to anybody. They are really truly believing that they're spreading the truth with a capital T. I know this because I did it too. And I was a lazy thinker too. And you know, the longer you live as a lazy thinker, the harder it is to become not a lazy thinker. If I was truly not a lazy thinker, I would be having a video right now describing my 10 ideas of what the lies are that Christians tell. And maybe I still will. I just haven't given that much thought yet, because I'm sure I can come up with at least 5 that I've personally experienced. So anyway, I'm going to end this video because I have a feeling it's really long. And thanks for watching. Bye!